Let's get it. Shady gang. I have spent the last 24 hours thinking, rationalizing, marinating, lost in thought, trying to find a silver lining in this draw with Tottenham. You know what I found? Pep tried to warn us about the match, but I was hard headed and didn't want to believe it. Here is Pep before the RB Leipzig match last week when he was asked about our defense.
In the only game we conceded a lot of goals and chances was against Chelsea. The rest is the same average the last seasons when we won the Premier Leagues and we arrived far, in the competitions. But in general, our average is like Liverpool concede 3 shoots on target, no more than that. We lost against Wolves with 1 goal and 1 shoot on target. So in general, our average is good. And the only exception, yes, maybe I give credit to Chelsea, not just for our mistakes. So the rest is quite similar, like we have done last season.
Okay. You got to give credit to Chelsea. Now, Pep 3 days later, before the match against Tottenham, again, asked about the defense.
And in our job, all the manager's job is say what really happens. Like or don't like to listen is your problem. But we have to do it. We have to put in front of the mirror every single time. And for example, now we concede 4 goals against Chelsea. We conceded 2 avoidable goals. Oh, we have a problem. We have a problem. You can say, it doesn't matter. Okay, if we don't solve it, we are going to lose games. If otherwise, what do we want? Just try to win games. Okay, we're going to try to solve it.
What happened in those practices? Where did the change come from? How did he go from, relax everyone, these games were exceptions, to, hey, if we expect to win anything, we have to change? We could easily blame the ref and move on. But Pep ended the post-match Tottenham scrum really with kind of a banger. I don't know if y'all heard it.
The rules for the referees, you cannot talk with the players and 4 officials, otherwise you'll be sent off. So we should have been sent off 10 players today. So, of course, he's a little bit disappointed. Even the referee, if he played for Man City today, he would be disappointed. That's for sure.
PGMOL was more upset about Haaland's WTF repost than how the referees represent their association in representing English refereeing. The 2022 World Cup had 129 match officials, 35 refs. 2 of them were English. Make it make sense. Why is that? 3 consecutive draws in the Premier League does not mean the season is over. No. But what it does say to me, what I am seeing, is a floating, blinking sign that says, warning. Forgetting history is the easiest way to repeat it. If you remember last season, about this week was the beginning of Arsenal taking the lead in first place of the Premier League. From match day 15, following 15 weeks, Arsenal fans, along with media, keying and hearty hars. We knew how that ends. How many times has City clawed back from behind or had to hold tight with another club on our heels? Tried to tell you at the end of last season that it's the world versus Man City. The ways our club will be discredited, insulted, undermined, and laughed at. Manchester City supporters should not be adding to the chaos. If you can't handle 3 consecutive draws, it makes me wonder if you really can't handle a supposed relegation. Will you be there for games against Carlton Athletic? Is a dog in you a Doberman or a Chihuahua? Will the pressure turn you into a diamond or dust? The choice is yours.
I hate the most is when you don't want
Making art over here, baby.
I hate it.
Capitalize that.
You have permission to make a mistake. You have permission to lose. You have permission.
And that's when we get big.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Attack everyone and defend everyone.
think we're forgetting the most important thing. We're forgetting about focusing just on ourselves.
But we can do better. We need to take the next step, and there's no better place than taking the next step here.
Show ourselves out there how much we want to win it again.
We win 4 of the last 5 Premier League, guys. 4 of the last 5 Premier League. Are we gonna do it again?
Don't ask me again about doubles, triples, quadruples, fifth-tuples, six-tuples, and seven-tuples. So
Don't do it. Hey, and welcome to episode 79 of Shades of Blue.
A lot of niggas debating my numero. Not the 3, not the 2, I'm the UNO.
You know, baby, we are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's game, spanning from the Atlantic Ocean to the Rocky Mountains. We making art over here. Capitalize the A. How's it going, homies? Sharpie, Charlie, Lando, Tarek.
Good to be back. Feels nice to see y'all. Happy we could, we needed some time after yesterday, so I'm glad we got together again.
Boys, I am optimistic about making it through this entire epi.
Hey,
Fingers
what's the
crossed. I
odds
think we
on
got the
this?
tech figured out.
Charlie, can
There
you
we go.
bet on this? Is there an over under
There we
how
go.
many minutes into
I
this?
think we got to cap it at
makes
like
it?
29 and a half
Lando will
minutes. I'm going to take the over for about, I think that the over should be the favorite. I think you can make it on the phone app. I'm going to say minus 250 odds. Solid bet.
Hashtag Charlie bets. First off, you're way wrong if you're gonna take the over. I think I'm with T here. The under. I'm optimistic, but if I'm a betting man, my
But
guy,
here's the
I'm
thing.
taking
We've
the
already hit
under,
it.
dog.
See, here's the thing. People don't know this. It's 8:31 Eastern. You've been on at like 8:05. So long as you last about 5 more minutes, we good.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
There's a technicality, I think, in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think T will find it too. T's onto it tonight. T's onto it because I'm with him here. There's not consecutive minutes in there, some lagginess. Ultimately, what we've decided to do is go straight for the phone. We got it up on a setup. We got the laptop here free, so we got any research needed. We got 2 screens going too. Well, Wi-Fi on the camera here with my phone, but that's the best we can do. So we're vibing. I'm set. I'm excited.
We're going all the way today. We're going all the way.
You deserve Shady Gang. You deserve. Before we get into anything at all, what I need you to do right now, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up for us. Show some love. Leave a comment on what you thought on the episode. Maybe a retort to something one of us said. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, whatever, got Good Pods, any of those streaming services that allow you to rate and review, please leave that 5-star rating. Or what's the point? Please and thank you. Let's stream this Thursday, the most dangerous show about football. Gundalorian, Mitch of Shirtless Plantain Show. He's the 1-2 people in that group that we have yet to work with. So we're slowly marking out the whole SBS gang. Looking forward to it. And Megan Swinick will be our special guest. No topics off limit. No thought held back. It's a good time during the lit streams. Tap in Shady Gang.
They have been getting lit lately.
They have
been getting lit lately.
People are embracing it took a little bit. Now that it's starting to get winter, people are getting a little chilly. They got to warm up. They're like, while we're here, I'm feeling comfortable with these guys. For some reason, I just want to slander everyone, and I'm here for it. It makes the shows very entertaining.
Spot on.
FanFest Live shows. Saturday, the City Men in the Baby Blue Baddies play. The women's match is a little early for us to be doing any FanFest Lives. So we will be doing one for City Men versus Luton. We will talk about the women's match that had just played because it starts at 6 a.m. I'm legitimately going to watch probably the first half in bed. Like legit. That's the max for me is 6 a.m. So, love the Baby Blue Baddies. They should handle things. Aston Villa, they're struggling, but the team has to straighten some things out. They have some killers on that squad. They're a little inconsistent. I'm hopeful though. So yeah, tap in with us. All of that information is in our show notes. In today's episode, we got the Man City Men. We got the match against Leipzig. We got, what happened in Tottenham. We got some couple of matches to review, and we got to fit in the women's match. They have a match against Aston Villa, so quickly we can give our thoughts, a little score prediction, if there's some time. But I have a feeling conversations through the Tottenham match might get a little long. We have some questions. Let's get into it, shall we? Ortega getting the start. Walker, Diaz, Bardial, Kanji, Rodri, Grealish, Young Rico, Bernardo, Foden, and Haaland up top. Was happy to see Alvarez rested. Good to see Grealish was healthy. Pep knew the streets would have exploded if Grealish was completely healthy on the bench in a match that in the grand schemes of things really didn't matter. We needed 1 point to secure a spot in top, but come on now. Let's be real. Release Gucci Pumas Red Bulls. Ortega getting the start gave me a sense of comfort. Why? Because Stefan Ortega was supposed to be our shot stopper. If our defense gives anything away, Ortega would be there to make a strong stop like he's done time and time again. Whoa. Did anyone see the troubles that we're going to get into coming with that lineup? Or were you like me? It's just like, yeah, this is a solid lineup. It's good to see Ortega.
I feel like it wasn't necessarily that the players dictated my small concern. It's just like the run of form we're in, right? Like whoever you put on the pitch, there's just mistakes are happening right now. Like, and that's just where we are in this early, want to say early part of the season, with more than 5 months left. It was something was going to happen. And so I always, like you said, Crunk, I always expect us to give up a goal. So I just knew we were going to give up a goal. Didn't know how many though.
I'm with you. I kind of felt great too. I came into it really honestly with, I don't want to say no real expectations. I just kind of felt completely at ease. It's just like, okay, I'm just comfortable. And I actually thought the lineup that we went out with was stronger than what I really expected to see. There wasn't as much rotation. I mean, there was, but again, bringing in Grealish instead of Doku, that's not an issue for me. So, that's whatever. So yeah, I thought we were fairly strong lineup. I thought we would, quite honestly, I thought we would handle it pretty comfortably.
Same.
Bit disappointing to see the goals and the way they were given. I think we would all attest to possibly getting countered. He was pretty lethal, Openda, and what he got. But I felt comfortable with the lineup. It's just those particular players that made those mistakes, right? We've noted some of them and some other mistakes that have happened, and that was a bit troubling. But going into the match, like team, man, this felt really, really good. Felt really, really good. Um, yeah, but perseverance, right?
Yeah. So the match begins with Leipzig. They start off with the ball. Their attack looks like they have a plan. That was what was apparent in the rewatch. I love rewatching matches even when we lose. I hate it sometimes because I still get the anxiety that, especially now that I know when the goal is coming in, so it just like peaks. I hate it. But Leipzig, they look like they had a plan. They drew out exactly how it was going to work. They moved right up the pitch. When City then tried to play from the back, Leipzig pressed like crazy. They were super intense. Both sides were having fun with the ball in possession. Bernardo had a volley shot deflected. Xavi Simon from Leipzig had a shot go wide. Guardiola and Diaz both gave away fouls because of their aggressive style, which in the rewatch, using hindsight, that was the smoke before the fire. Leipzig struck first from our own move. Basically recycled all the way back to the keeper, then boots the ball along, brilliance from your striker, and score. Diaz put Openda onside. Akanji boxed himself out of the play, and my boy Ederson failed to get close to the ball. Shit, baby, here we go again. City didn't start the match covering themselves in glory at home, letting Leipzig shake them up. What was going on? Was anyone watching the match live or getting the updates? Do you remember how you were feeling when we went down one?
I mean, for me, I think I was finishing up a meeting. Like, I always have meetings on Tuesdays, so I hate when we have a Champions League match on Tuesday, not on Wednesday. It's very frustrating.
Same.
So I'm just like, actually, I had it on my phone. Now it's all coming back to me. I literally had it out on the desk while we were at the meeting. I'm trying to look up, do the nod along, like, oh yeah, I don't care what you're saying right now. City's playing. And to see that goal go in, I was like, wow, here we go again. Now, the only thing I will say is that the match was in Manchester, so I didn't think the match would end 0-1 Leipzig winning, right? Like, but it just same old, same old.
We gave up the goal early enough that
because there's going to be a.
Oh, sorry. I said that first goal was early enough. I think it was like 13-minute, something like that. That while you're disappointed, you're like, okay, well, there's plenty of time. We'll get it back. We'll figure it out. It just sucks to go down. By the time they got that second one, it was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Now we're almost 30 minutes in, and it's like, wait, something's not right. What are we doing? And again, you're like, okay, well, we still have a whole second half. But it was only when the second goal went in, I was like, wait a minute, what's there's an issue here. We got to figure something out. And to the boys' credit, they came out with a little bit more hunger, and we went from there. So
the second goal was pretty much the same as the first goal.
Yep.
Different keeper or different defender. Same thing, just coming in way too hot. Openda uses what his family gave him, his genes. Use that body, put it on him. Both our defenders just bounced off of Openda. I think they assumed that they were gonna run up on him and bounce him off, but our defenders were the ones who kind of got jostled off, and that's kind of crazy that it was Ruben Diaz and Manuel Akanji.
Yeah.
And he just came and did his thing. I don't even know which one was worse because they both just felt awful.
Diaz.
And
it was worse.
Diaz one?
Akanji's misread was over the head and really difficult to deal with. Ruben Diaz was a full flight. He had full sight of how that ball was coming in, and he chose to take that angle and go over. And Openda made that move. Openda played tremendous. For the opportunities he was given, the way he executed, fucking hell. Especially the one against on Ruben. The brought back Josko came back and tried to recover the cutback and still went ball side, short side and hit it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. Tip of the cap to the kid, honestly. And I know he's a little bit of an injury issue coming back off of I thought a thigh issue, but credit to him. They got a player there.
All I could think of when that second goal went in, it took me back to when I was back out in California and we recorded an episode and I brought up the topic of like, it might have been a lit stream. I don't know. It was like, hey, Ruben Diaz is our least athletic center back. Like, these are very objective things. Like, this is not like me and my feelings or me being like super pro black. It's just like he is the least athletic center back. That is the type of play that exposes every weakness in his game. There are so many strengths, incredible player, trouble winner, PL Team of the Year, on the balance, all that stuff. But when it comes to just running really fast, and needing to decide when I'm going to go, when I'm not. He doesn't have the legs that the other center backs do. And if any part of he's like that player in any sport where like if any part of his technique is off, because his technique is so great, it covers up that the lack of athleticism. And so when your technique is off, it's like if your ball handling is off as a small point guard, like Chris Paul, if he loses his handle, he's done, right? Because he doesn't have the legs anymore. Ruben, not
Right.
saying he's old, but just like he has a certain. Me and Lando play FIFA. He's like a good old 66 feet on FIFA. You can't make too many mistakes with that 66. You got an 89 defense, 90 defense, but that speed ain't gonna help you too much. So you really got to be precise. And that mistake was unfortunate. But yeah, it stuck.
It's not even the favoritism, just the fact that like obviously our black players and our black defenders are more athletic. Let's just even keep it within him being white European. Gavardiol is more athletic than him. Like he doesn't even get higher than Gavardiol on the athleticism list. He's far and away one of our least athletic defenders. I mean, yeah, but you're spot on with the pace thing, brother. God, that pace is god tier trash on FIFA. God tier trash. That man's a statue, bro. Cinder block for feet, cause no lies.
Oh, and, man, 23 minutes into the match, City finally started looking like themselves, passing the ball around, recycling it. BB handling Leipzig's press well. Grealish gets sandwiched between three Leipzig players, taking a few blows to the head. I thought he looked a bit wobbly walking off the pitch. Saw Daku warming up, but Grealish sprints back on the pitch a moment later. Rico Lewis had his chance to score his second Champions League goal. Ooh, just Vardiol with a beautiful pass to cutting Rico, darts right past the defender. We're all expecting him to slap the ball into the net. Too much gas on that shot, though, sent that bitch flying. 31 minutes. Oh, you gonna say something, Lando?
Well, I'm just laughing. I'm laughing. It's good.
Okay,
It's so great every time. I should mute myself.
let's just get to half because after that second goal, it was halftime. You saw Ake warming out before the first half whistle blew. That was probably one of the first changes, right? That you wanted to see Ake on. What else did you want to see? Because I mean, we were getting the chances. We're home. We just need to be clinical.
At that point, I think I put in one of my group chats, hey, let's get three, right? Like I'm excited, but deep down, I just wanted 2 goals to get the draw. Like at that point, being down that much, knowing what we needed out of this, I said, hey, we're home. They scored 2 1/2. We can score 2 the next. Be more clinical. I hate that phrase, but it works. It's one of those cliches that's real. Like finish the chances, right? Like we should have had a goal from Rico. Like that, you have to score the goal. Love you, Rico. Great hair, great number, great kid. Score the goal. It's a big match, and so like yeah, I just felt like hey, we have enough so where we're going to keep attacking. They're not going to come out aggressive because they're up 2 goals. And why would you? That's silly to come out and just go balls to the wall. So I just figured like we would control the second half and eke out a point.
I believe I put it into the Slack chat. In the first 10 minutes, I'd like to at least get a goal back, and I'd just like to see some fight. 2 for 2, we got that, and I was proud. I was proud of that. That in itself allowed me to have some confidence. Um, I will say, and we'll probably talk on some of these other things, just from a philosophy perspective. I do not have comfort in having to come back in the second half all the time. I think that is it's a magical bottle that we all get to drink from that you can never have and never refill, and you will never ever be able to do anything to get it back in there more. So once you sip it and drink it, it is gone. Savor that taste. But once that bottle's fucking gone, you will be fucked every time. And that is what I fear about having these moments, these games like this, where we come back and win. Great, I love it, great moments, but we're dipping into this fountain. We're dipping into this bottle that I don't want to dip into. I'll take it for now, but eventually it's going to run out. It's kind of how I felt.
So for me, and as Charlie was talking, I understood why I was so calm coming into the match, because all we needed was a draw, I think, and we would have secured top of the group. So I don't think I didn't even care necessarily if we won, as long as we got a draw. Now, granted, at halftime, being down 2-0, I don't know that I was expecting us to come. I was hoping, and I think we have the ability to come back and win it. But at this point, it's just like, just get the 2 points, get 2 goals, get the point is what I should say. Get the draw and secure top of the group and move on, because it doesn't matter if we win. It only matters if we get top of the group. So I was definitely much less confident in the second half coming out. But we typically come out, we start well, both beginning first half and second half. So I was expecting us to try to come out really hot and impact the game right away.
Group was decided going into the match, wasn't it? 1 and 2 at least, I
Well,
thought.
yes, we clinched our spot in the knockout stage,
but not top
we
of the
had
group,
yet
right?
to clinch. Yes, we hadn't clinched that specifically. We needed 1 point to, but it would have happened, obviously. But it's better to do it sooner than later. What I love most, both Sharpie and Terry, you said similarly. City, I know they're gonna. Well, Sharpie, you said there's no way Red Bull would come out hot at the beginning of the second half. Terry, you're like, yeah, the City's gonna come through and play started off well. Neither of those things happened. My first notes on here is the second half begins like the first ended. City appeared to be the uncomfortable squad. Couldn't tell who was home. That's what really had me so shaken up, because it's like, all right, cool. We know what the adjustment was. We could see what was happening during the half. He's going to fix everything. And it really didn't look like things were fixed. Pep had seen enough, though. He made a big move. Walker off for Alvarez and Daku for Grealish. What happens immediately from that throw-in? Ake to Kanji, who passes it up to Rodri. One touch passes to Alvarez, who has a Leipzig defender closing in on him. Dishes the ball to Foden, who takes a dribble. Stabs the ball for Haaland, who's through for goal. Strikes, and we have a ball game, baby. From there, City take over possession. Haaland, City take over possession, taking their time. Makes you feel like the tying goal is inevitable. 69th minute. Nice. City are moving the ball up the pitch. Ake has the ball when he sends the ball wide to Vardiol, who has Daku waiting for the ball. He's got a defender on him. Vardiol looks off Daku. I love it. He then sends a dime to Foden. Like it was like a rope. And I've been screaming about Foden's turn and burn since the show's inception. 3 touches. 1 is steady. 2nd to accelerate. The 3rd pops the ball past the keeper. This is the club we have known for the last couple of seasons. Nice of you to finally join us. The game is tied now. We're good, right? We just know it's all over now. We're just gonna score. It's good. Yes. Cool. I really needed that. That match was entirely too stressful. I'm pretty sure all of us were like, yeah, this is gonna be simple. This is gonna be easy.
And I think the thing that is so, I won't even call it infuriating. I call it like entertaining about City is that those 2 goals happened in a 16-minute stretch, right? It happened in the first 25 minutes of the second half. We could have scored the same amount of goals in the same time frame in the first half. The chances just didn't go in. So the proof is in the pudding, right? If you continue the process, you continue to play the right way, we always create the chances. And as we get into Spurs, we'll talk about that some more. But like, that always brings me comfort because we're going to do it the right way. We're not a team where everybody's going to play hero ball and Phil Foden's going to try to be messy and run through 7 defenders, right? Like we do it the right way. So when your process is so refined, that's what you take after you win a CL. You're like, oh, we done this. Like we know how to do this. This isn't a problem. Like we play like shit, and now we're gonna fix it. And that's how you lift up each other, right? Like The defenders didn't have a good first half. Cool, it happens. Nobody sulks too long, and then you make changes, and that's what you love to see out of a club.
I found myself really appreciating Josko Gvardiol in that second half. A few of the body feints, a few of the right positioning, the hockey passes, the movement, the dime broke past the Foden is exactly why I was crushing over him in the first place to come over. I thought those were the type of passes that we were really going to try to get with him being left-footed and the dynamic with left back, center back thing. But it was the movement escaping an area that allowed for Rico to find Doku on that second goal that I just thought it's sometimes what you don't do necessarily with the ball that's really going to impact the game. And I thought Jocko, for a few minutes there in that second half, I just thought, damn, I'm loving what I'm seeing. So that was really something kind of big for me.
There was Zavi Simmons went off with injury. He looked like he was hurting. That hurt my soul because he's a young brown baller. Like he's doing his thing. So I didn't see what his injury diagnosis was, but hopefully it's not something long. Leipzig lost a lot of their attacking prowess once he left. They made a couple of other subs. You could tell that they were just holding tight, hoping for the best. 82 minutes into the match, and I become increasingly fearful we can't grab the win. City only need 1 point to win the group. So, yes, the win isn't needed, but after a comeback like this, the draw, to me, would have felt disappointing. Daku, since coming in, the match was amazing, throwing defenders around, off him. He had the hockey assist on Alvarez's game-winning goal. Rico to Daku, Foden doing work in small spaces, finding Alvarez, who scores. In fact, the citizens looked like they wanted more, actually. It didn't happen. The game ended 3-2. Before getting your thoughts on the match, I do want to play Foden. He was asked about the match and their performance.
In the first half, it's the worst I've seen us, I think. But you know, the courage that we have and the motivation we have, we got it together at half time and we came out and played a lot better and we changed the game. So it's important when things are not going right to change them, and this team's got great mentality for that. And yeah, so.
Did you find joy in the fact that City found a way to come back, or were you annoyed that the comeback had to happen in the first place? Eric?
I definitely found joy that they were able to come back. Again, you don't expect to be in that position. Don't expect to be down, especially down 2-0. But I just thought that it just goes to show that we still have, we still have that capability. We still have that firepower. And when we crank up the intensity, it's a hard day for anyone to keep us out of goal. So yeah, I still believe in our ability, but no one wants to be down. And I think that we have a team that's good enough if we play right to not be in that position. So I think there's a frustration of why are we in this position, but also a understanding that even though we're here, we have a squad that can turn it around and really in a heartbeat if we start to play to our ability.
Okay. I think for me, of course, you don't want to be down 2-0, right? Nobody wants that. But the fight is amazing. I would just say this, like, after winning a treble and experiencing that as a supporter, all of this seems futile to me. I know that's a bad way to be a supporter, but it's like, we've done it all. We've reached the mountaintop. There's no way you can have a better season than what we did last year, right? Like, so by default, anything that happens is I'm like, oh my God, City weren't this poor last season. No shit. We won a treble. Like, there is no place to go technically but down. Like, every mistake seems worse because you had the perfect season. And if anything, fighting back is what it's all about. That's a championship mentality. Like, you don't win 3 PLs in a row, 5 out of 6, just by accepting that we're down 2 goals and just saying, all right, well, we'll get them next match. It's only 3 points, whatever. Like, no, you fight. You don't win 7 CL groups in a row by just saying, like, well, we're not going to take care of business. We'll get Red Star. We'll wait it out. Like, no, you take care of business when you're supposed to. So like the fight is in the squad. It just there's going to be this is not 22-23. It can never be that. And so if you change your lens, people, change the way you're looking. Like you're at the eye doctor and they move the little shade up and down to try to get the right one. Figure it out because you have to look at this from a different place. Like we're not up the hill anymore. Like we're trying to stay at the top of like the biggest mountain ever. And so sometimes you're gonna fall a little bit, and that's okay.
Charlie, it's so good that you say that, man. When we talk about another game later, I think that's going to be a big point to kind of resurface because, I mean, to just kind of reinforce it, man. We're blessed to discuss a standard, though. We're blessed to discuss the fact that there's a standard that we have, and the fact that when certain play doesn't reach a standard, we start to go back to those. But we're winning. Why are we not doing this? Why are we not doing that? And all this talk, and it's just kind of like not every the right the fan base is growing, so not everyone's going to agree on these things. But I love this. This is a good problem for me. Another thing I truly believe in. It's a good problem if I'm trying to have to decide between Doku and Grealish on a winger. It's a good problem when the squad's fully fit and I have to decide when am I going to timely put King Kevin back and get some minutes for him and John Stones, etc. Those are good problems to have. Um, I like these good problems, these standard type of conversations, because it just means we keep winning. Somehow, some way, we get it done.
Love this. Maybe the 24 hours, the way us pushing the recording was best for us. Because I'm not sure if we all would have came in I'm sure, yes, we are all pushing that is vibes this season, patience, karma, all that stuff. But I do think if we would have recorded Sunday night instead of right now, Monday night, I think the heat and the intensity, even with this Red Bull match, might be a little different. So I'm happy because y'all seem cup half full types right now. And I love this.
I mean, honestly, I was cup half full yesterday. When we got on, if we would have actually recorded, I would have said the same thing about the next game we're going to say that I said about this last one. I expected to win, disappointed in the way that it didn't happen, but I am definitely not of the opinion that the sky is falling, right? It's just not. I think there's too much time left in this season for us to quote unquote figure it out. And I'm just confident that we will. And, there's going to come a time my confidence is going to be misplaced. We're not going to win. Someone else is going to win the PL. That's going to happen eventually. And when it happens, I'll deal with it. But I genuinely believe that we have everything that we need to be on top of the table when the season ends, because nothing matters until that final day. Anything before that is just is gravy. But if it's not, it doesn't matter. As long as we're at the top on the final day, I'm good.
And I also think that he doesn't have the delusion that when the signs are all there, that it's not time for us and the cards are not on the table for us. He's not going to sit there and believe that this is what he doesn't. From what I've heard prior, and with my time with T, he's not buying into fool's gold either. I think the time will come where guys, we're not going to win it forever. Okay. Should this beautiful thing continue 7 years later and we have won it 7 more years in a row? Fuck me. What is happening in our lives? But
if we win it 7 years in a row, if we get to a place where we've won it 7 years in a row,
a decade.
I think at that point, I will think we will never lose another game in our. We'll just never lose. At that point, I'm thinking we're never going to lose.
1,000%.
I don't think we'll get to that point. But if we do, I'm going on record now that I will never think we'll lose another game after that.
In fact, they're going to have to change. They're going to have to find a whole new sponsorship and change the Premier League, because it's just going to be City for so long and so consistent. No one's going to even want to try to win the trophy.
Oh, they would blow this thing up if that happened.
Super League me.
It would be Super League for sure.
What I want to
Pep arrested. Pep arrested.
I also want to bring this fact in, right? Because the glass half full is important. As I have this wine glass, which is not half full, there's still some in it. And that's how you have to think about it, right? Like, if you also think about what's missing, it's two of the best players in the world. Like, not by me saying this, about like the Ballon d'Or rankings and like Premier League team of the seasons and Champions League team of the seasons. Kevin De Bruyne and John Stones have not played consistently. John Stones has been in and out of injury. Kevin De Bruyne, we know, was never going to play. Well, he started the first match. He's out until January. So, like, if you were to take two, let's just call it a top two defender in the club and a top two attacker in the club, you take that away from any other side, you're going to see a drop off. Like, look at Liverpool. You take off VVD, or let's say this, take off Trent and take off Mohamed Salah. Watch what happens to them. You go to Chelsea, sorry, wrong person. You go to like Arsenal, right? Take off Saka, take off Saliba. Like, we actually saw this last year with Arsenal, right? There is a drop off when you lose your best. Now, our drop off is better than others because we have more talent, right? So we can still be a top three side in the Premier League at this point, and win a Champions League group, even when we're not playing our best. And so, like, that right there, it gives me so much like hope for the future because it's been 14 PO matches and we haven't even gotten the knockouts in the Champions League. We're okay.
Nah,
If
y'all
there,
done got me hyped, honestly, thinking about this. We done all this stuff, and we got our big boys missing. We got people inconsistent. Nunez been out. Kova's been out. Like, what are you talking about? We've been struggling. We've been putting along, and we are missing people. No, I'm lit. Wait, I can't wait till this match against Newcastle. I'm telling you, that's when Kevin, he's gonna get a couple of minutes, and a wonder goal is gonna happen. The world's gonna melt. Oh, I need it so much. So think about being patient.
we should probably get to this next game. And the reason is because if there's four of us in a room, we all agree one of us is expendable, probably two of us. I do have one negative thing that I need to get to, and I want to get to it before this game.
Ooh, so let's do it. The starting 11 for the match was Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Varial, Akanji, Rodri, Daku, Silva, Alvarez, Foden, and Halan up top. Oh, man. Did you want to see Grealish to start? I mean, I can understand you can't bench Daku because he's been lights out. City running away with possession, owning 95% of the ball in the first 5 minutes. When Tottenham get the ball, you see them playing out from the back, looking shaky until there's a corner for City. What happened against Tottenham? First chance at counter. Son gets put on with space. For some reason, Daku is the only defender on him. Kyle Walker, indecisive on who he wanted to pick up, gave Son the opportunity to get the shot off. Couldn't really even finish my thoughts on Tottenham's goal because before, Son gave us one back. We have a fucking ball game, people. Thoughts. Where was your mentals sitting 10 minutes into the match? 1-1.
So I feel like yeah, no, but see, I believe in just being honest, right? And I feel like you gave Doku just a little bit of, or too much grace, because reality was that man was supposed to be the last man back. He was supposed to prevent what happened. He has the pace to run with anybody, and I think in that either he did not see Son over his shoulder, or he kind of became a little bit too casual with it and kind of got bullied. He got bullied and shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have happened. It's not the first time we've seen, and this is my issue, it's not the first time we've seen City players get caught on the counter. We know. Everybody should know. The way you beat us is on the counter. If you try to play pass for pass with us, it's not going to go well for you because we are the best in the world at it. So the way to beat us is to not let us set up, not let us win the ball back early, hit us on the counter, and go at us with pace. And what we saw was the quintessential textbook definition of a counterattack by Son, and he did it excellently. But there's a bit of, hey, I expect Doku to do better there. No, he's not a defender. No, yeah, he's an attacker, but I expect him to. I expect him to at least keep that man in front of him until we can get our defenders back. You cannot let that man get past you. You cannot let him beat you. And we've seen it with too many players, including Cancelo a couple years ago. I think we saw with Rico earlier this season, maybe. If you're the last man back, there's one rule. You just cannot get beat. No one gets behind you. It just is what it is. And I don't want to let him off the hook.
And he shouldn't be let off the hook. Oh, my bad. Lando, you got it, bro. Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, no. I was just quickly going to add to it. I don't think it was any of those things. I think he took a bad angle. I think he knew the person was there. If you go back and look at that ball, the English on that ball and the angle that he took to get it, I truly just think he misplayed the ball. And that where I think was the issue was. But you're absolutely right. He deserves fair criticism to that. In a one play where I think Crunk pointed out in his lovely breakdown 3 potential mistakes, I see the 2. Um, where I thought what Kyle Walker did was great, playing back and forth with Son. I thought he was playing a little cat and mouse with him. I thought Kyle Walker was veteran and savvy enough to say, either I'm coming to you or am I going to play back and know that you're just going to try to pass it in for a tap in. I thought Kyle Walker did well. I thought the second mistake, other than Doku, was the Ederson fuck up. I thought that ball should have been fucking saved. That's just
I
me.
support that. When I first saw it, I was like, wait, that shot wasn't like a screamer. It was just like, Addison, he could stop it. He probably would admit, like, I should have stopped that shot, right? But I have a problem with the alignment. Because if you remember the Cancelo era and you remember when, Cancelo is a defender, right? Like, so him messing up against Salah, he's in the right position, the right person is there, mistake. In this case, why wasn't Kyle Walker where Doku was? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to have your best fullback, who is the paciest guy in the Premier League, all these beautiful things, have him there, not have your winger, who is not a defender, when you know, like you said, the only way we can get hit is on the break. But Doku's got to do better. But I will say this, like, once the goal happens, even before we get the own goal, right, I'm just like, okay, early goal out of the way. Like, somebody's going to score early goal in our matches. It might be us, it might be them. But now it's game on. And let's just see the attacks going to happen. So that after, as you already talked about the own goal, the way we built up right after that just shows, okay, mistakes happen, we move on, have that amnesia, and then good things happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. It was, to your point, it was, okay, they got a goal. It is so early in the match that we'll get it back. Let's go. Because I didn't have any confidence in their ability to stop us, to defend. So for us, it's like, okay, yeah, we gave up one. That might be the only one they get. We'll go get 2 or 3 our own, and it's all good. That was what I was thinking at the time. And the game kind of went the way it went.
Alan misses a sitter. I think the difficulty was too low for him because it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Nah, I'm about to have a crunk rant, bro. Because what the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck? You can't be the best striker in the world and just miss that golden opportunity. Like, bro, it's ridiculous. If it was Gabby Jesus, Raheem Sterling, I don't care. It could have been old boy Fran Torres. Anybody else, not named Sergio Aguero, and they missed that shot. Oh my gosh, Twitter would have been ablaze because you can't do that. Like, it's the Rico miss, but it's even worse because of who you are and your stature in the game. Mm-hmm. And it's ridiculous. And we saw this early in the season. Again, it's not the same players, not the same season within where he was outperforming his XG. If you looked at the stats, I forgot the homie that posted it, he's right on level with his XG, which is okay, but you don't score that many goals and break records just being okay, right? Like, you are supposed to be great. This is an easy chance. We've seen this man do a scorpion kick above the fucking goal, but you can't put this in with your strong foot? Come on, bro. Like, it's embarrassing. That had me fucking livid.
Yeah, and I think it was the homie Dylan Meehan who was doing that post. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, man. Tottenham. This was the good thing. After the goal, City did respond because Tottenham couldn't really get out of their half of the pitch. 15 minutes into the match, City have 61% of the possession, 6 corners. Then there's 19 minutes into the match. Tottenham finally earned their first and second corners of the match. It was a little consecutive. There was some gamesmanship in the second corner. A lot of time wasted. And what angers me about that, because I went, oh, okay, we're allowing this stuff now. And then, not to get ahead of myself, Grealish thing gets carded for a little bit of gamesmanship. That's what annoyed me a little bit about that. But I digress. Spurs with a nice little attack, earning their third corner from Johnson cooking Vardiol, and Ruben Diaz finally doing Diaz things. Johnson would just put that cross in, and Diaz comes out of nowhere with just like a strong deflection of a ball. That brought me the energy. I was like, yes, let's go. It was a timely stop. It gave the club time to gather themselves. I thought City were going to take over possession, but Bernardo put a dangerous pass over to Walker, giving Tottenham an enticing chance at goal. That Haaland miss was making me feel away when then Daku clings a shot off the crossbar. That Tottenham magic continues to bother. 2-1 City in the 32nd minute. Then there's City, almost score another after Daku was chopped down. Crowd is loud, doing their thing. Rodri is fucking yellow, meaning he will be unavailable for a midweek match against Aston Villa. Okay, I think I'm just going to start a petition for Rodri to fucking untuck that shirt. It just needs to happen. He needs to embrace the bad boy you so obviously want to become. This heel turn needs to happen sooner than later, because you're obviously tying these shorts too tight. It's cutting off circulation. You're making rash decisions. I don't know. We need to figure something out. 40 minutes into the match, City have 62% of the possession, which is good. Almost 100 more passes than Tottenham, along with 11 shots, which is good. Pedro, 2 of 11 shots at goal. 2 shots off the post. Haaland, sitter, mismanaged. City up 2-1 doesn't bring me joy. Like a 3-1 lead would. But hey, a lead is a lead. 3 minutes of extra time is played. Game gets into halftime. Manchester City 2, Tottenham 1. What do you think about City's first half? Is there a problem? What changes were you hoping to see from us in the second half?
I was just nervous as shit, man. I mean, Tottenham have it's the way we got the second goal or our first goal wasn't that it didn't give me that I mean, yes, relief that we get it, but it wasn't oh, that breath of fresh air that I really wanted, that creative something that said, all right, we're sparking here. The second goal did that, but um, defensively, I was so troubled, and I knew it was going to continue because Heung-min Son wasn't going anywhere. So yeah, I not real changes. I wasn't anticipating any subs. T, did you want any subs at half?
No, actually, I was different than you. I felt very comfortable at half because we were dominating. Outside of that initial counter, we were dominating. We had plenty of chances. And my note that I wrote, and I don't always write notes when I'm watching, but I wrote the note that it's just like, so many missed chances. I just wrote, coulda, woulda, shoulda. We could have did this, we should have did this, we would have did this, but so I was only a little bit concerned about, hey, if we don't start taking these opportunities, it may come back to bite us, because we were creating so many of them. I genuinely expected it will continue like this in the second half, and 2 goals will become 4 in a heartbeat, because we were that dominant. I didn't see them. Yes, the potential for them to hit us on the counter was always going to be there, but I was pretty confident. Hey, we're going to come out and pull this out. And again, part of that is just because I genuinely did not have any belief in Tottenham's defense. So with the amount of shots, the amount of opportunities we have, it's just a matter of time. You can't just keep, bend but don't break. At some point, you're going to break if you keep giving up that many shots. Being in the U.S., everybody likes, we just saw or we just got announced that Tim Howard is going to be going into Hall of Fame. Tim Howard is known for his goals, that game against Belgium where he had like 16, 17 saves or whatever it is, some insane number. But you know what? I think we still lost that game. It was just a matter of time, right? In this case, it's just a matter of time. We're going to get our goal. And that was my thought at half. So I didn't expect any changes. I thought we were on the right path. Just keep doing what we're doing, and the result will come. Charlie, what about you?
So at this moment, I'm actually playing with a baby. I was in New York, and I was me and my friends, little 1+ year old for the first time. She's adorable. So I was actually, she made me happier because, as you said, with the coulda, woulda, shoulda, we should have had more goals. It should have been like 3-1, at least 3-1.5, probably 4. And knowing Spurs and knowing who they are, I felt like it would be something that we would miss. Like, I wasn't over the Holland miss. Now, did we take a lead? Yes. Again, should he have scored that goal? Hell yes. And so you just knew that, like, I felt that something would happen in the second half where that would really rear its ugly head. So happy to have the lead, but it's only halfway through. So yeah, Crunk, like, tell us what happened in the second half. What was a great way the second half started? Because this really blew me as well.
Hey, hold on real quick before you do that. So
Yeah.
what was before the game, what did you expect from Doku against Pedro Porro? I thought he was going to destroy that dude. And he actually stood up better than I thought he was. Because I think Pedro Porro wants to be an attacker. He's not going to be a defender. Yeah. And I was surprised. Some of it is outcome, right? If Doku gets that goal, if it actually goes in, maybe it feels differently. So maybe I'm judging the outcome as opposed to what actually happened during the match. But I just felt like, I thought we were going to get, and we kept attacking down that side. I just like, it's just the floodgates are going to open. It's just a matter of time. Boom, let's go. So I wrote another note, wow, Pedro Porro actually held up better against Doku than I expected in that first half. So.
Yeah, Pedro Porro said, hey, he was quoted saying, Daku's not going to have the match you think he's going to have, which made me think, okay, Daku's going to kill it. And like you said, Pedro Porro did pretty decent. There was an actual moment or two where I feel like Pedro Porro got the best of Daku. And I even thought Halan was going to eat with all of those wingbacks as defenders. I just thought we would just go, screw it. Let's try a through ball with Juan, let him throw some dudes around and take a shot at goal. I don't know. Everything just felt very weird. Kickoff brings an immediate goal scoring opportunity thanks to a bird brain moment from Vicario. Nothing much happened for the next 5 minutes. 51 minutes into the match, though, Pep is giving instructions to Gucci Puma, who comes on for Daku, who was grabbing at his calf. I actually think Son's first goal is where Daku hurt himself. And I think he was just trying to power through the rest of the match. And that's kind of what happened with it. Oh, man. Thinking about Daku hurting himself. Thinking about Rodri. We're getting a little ahead of myself, but just Daku in general, him potentially hurting himself again. Well, not again, but just like hurt. I'm tired of seeing our players injured. I'm over it. And I know that's everyone right now. It's every club, men's, women's. It's just all the matches is adding up. But when Gucci Puma came on, he did have an immediate impact. He looked rested. He looked hungry. The way that he was dribbling, there seemed to be purpose towards it. That was until he got a yellow card, time wasted, taking the ball away, which feels bullshit, but Grealish made. That was dumb. Him getting that yellow shook him up, and all the fire that he played with when he came on was gone. I really want to get on Grealish about him getting that yellow card because he had just came on the pitch. I don't know, that just seems tough and intense because again he's got so much going on for him.
No. It's his fault. He's as much at fault as Doku was for giving up the goal against Sun, right? Like, you know the rules now. This isn't September. Like, you know that this year, if you are intentionally time wasting, which he was, it's going to be a yellow. Now, do I think he knew that one more yellow would be? I believe that causes him to miss the next match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, I don't think he knew that. I don't think he had that on his mind. But like, there's no point in kicking the ball away there. Like, it's so silly and it's so unnecessary. And like you said, it changes
Eddie.
every way you play because now you literally can't be a full 100% aggressive. You have to dial it back to like 90, 95. And that makes a big difference. So it was stupid. It was a stupid play.
If this is last season and there's no Doku on the bench to come off and you're competing with minutes for, do we think Grealish does that? Or is the competition kind of got him, I'm not going to say shook, but are you, I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you. That's what I said when Doku first arrived and Grealish wasn't as, because I thought Doku was going to come, that was going to bring inspiration and creativity to Grealish's play. I thought that was going to fit it, but yeah, something just seems off. He hasn't seemed himself really since Doku shown up, and I'm with you. I think maybe seeing this young dude doing his thing, instead of it inspiring him, it has him a little like shaken up, and especially with his injury and then the sickness, being benched. Yeah, I think, especially him, like especially the person,
and that's not,
yeah.
And it's definitely not to criticize Grealish or whatever. It's just to say, are you so on edge because I didn't start? I'm coming on. I got a point to prove. Maybe I'm angry I didn't start or whatever. So now I'm just like a little bit on edge. And so now I do something stupid in a moment because I'm in my feelings, basically. Yeah, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. But I don't know. There's no way for me to know that. But
yeah,
it's just questioning because it is such a silly decision to make. It's like, what drove you to do that?
Basically, I think he's looking at it at the end of the game, right? Today, he's 50-50 back with Pep, probably. I mean, he scored in the 81st, but he got the yellow card in the 61st. So, I mean, he's missing the next match. He's got to keep his head down and keep training and keep focused. I think that goal really eases up on him a little bit. I really do. I think he needed that, and I needed that for him. I'm happy for him. He ran. We know he's always willing to run for us. There are moments last year in our treble winning season that Jack Grealish was the last guy back, and he performed well and stood up into certain moments. You guys are all right. Jack knows it's got to be smarter than that, and it was stupid. I do still think that, I think maybe Charlie said he knows it's time wasting. Yeah, he knows it's time wasting, but I don't think he meant to do that. I think he meant to kick it to like put the ball where it should be placed. But again, Eddie shouldn't have done the shit in the first place. But mentally, I think Jack's a little bit better. I think he's coming off a little bit more positive. He knows he can't perform in this next match, but as long as he's training and doing well, I think that goal did well for him.
Like I mentioned, after the yellow card, he lost a bit of his fire. The team kind of lost a lot of its fire, which led to Tottenham's second goal from Lo Celso. Dumb turnover from City, giving Tottenham chance after chance. Diaz bites hard on Lo Celso's dummy. Rodri gets pulled away, giving Lo Celso the space to get the shot off. And I have, again, no idea what Ederson is doing. Ange swapping Gill for Højbjerg at the beginning of the second half was the right move, apparently. That was a masterpiece. And from there, Pep makes some moves of his own. He takes Foden off for Rico. I agree with putting Rico on. We needed that, but we needed Phil on the pitch. I understand why he took Phil off, because no Doku, no Grealish, no Rodri. that means Phil will be the star of this match against Aston Villa. I think Pep is going to ask a lot of him and knows that he needs that time off. At least that's my mindset. I was trying to make the best of that because I wanted to see them on together. Honestly, I would have said take Bernardo off because I think Bernardo's going to need to do a lot also in this match against Villa.
I don't disagree. I'm with you, Crunk. I think it was a necessary. That's a bad problem, right? I brought up good problems earlier. That's a clear example of a bad fucking problem right there. We got yellow card situations for the next game. I am in an absolute shootout because defensively, uh, people are just having the time of day on us right now, and I need to take off creativity right when I need creativity for the fact that I need to save the creativity for the next game. Bad problem to have, but in Pep I trust,
Yeah,
baby.
the didn't really sit on it for too long. Oh, well, let's rephrase that. Didn't didn't.
Hey,
Whoa. Oh my goodness. Grealish's knee slide. Chef's kiss. It was impeccable. Yes.
epic.
Yes. Again, I'm going to say something that was mad crazy, so I'm just going to keep it moving. 9. Okay, so we get to the 81st minute. That's Grealish's goal. I'm like, all right, we're ahead. It's good. 9 minutes, a little bit of extra time. Not a problem. Have to make some changes. Try to solidify our defense. Good. Great.
Those changes are wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to hear what you're about to say because I
Go ahead. You
agree with
finish.
you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, my bad. I hate it.
Oh no, I want you to know. I want you to go first. Yeah, please.
All right. So let's look at the match there, right? Like, I get taken off Phil for Rico. Great. At this point, when you're up a goal, because he doesn't make the sub until the 87th minute, I get Vardiol's on a yellow card, but like to take off a defender when you're trying to defend a lead seems stupid. Why wouldn't you take off a forward and just do like we did last year? I don't know, like in the CL final, where you just say, "Hey, you shall not pass. We're gonna have all 5 defenders across the back, 5-4-1 it up, 5-3-2 if you want, and just defend." Like, I don't get going like for like because you clearly went like the other way when you put in Kovacic for Alvarez. So in reality, you could have just taken off Alvarez for Ake, right? And then maybe taken off, I don't know, Bernardo and let him out because his legs were gone. Like, I just think he didn't get defensive enough.
Yeah.
And the goal could have been avoided, whatever. But I just think like we gotta really just lock this up. We got too cute, and we gotta be more practical in my opinion. And I think that's on Pep.
Yeah, Kovacic. I have stated my thoughts on Kovacic defensively. He is the new holder of the Consolo Cools. And on that goal that we gave away, a lot happened, but I am watching the subs, the people who are new on the pitch with the most energy. And Kovacic is just jogging. And I know even watching it, Tottenham's goal at the end of the match, it's real chill. Like you really couldn't smell a goal. You saw the running streaker, the whoever, Kulishevsky. You see him busting ass, but I don't know. I didn't really think that was going to be a problem. It was going to struggle. I definitely didn't think that he was going to spin Ake around. Yeah. I legit don't remember much after that. I know Lo Celso was a little pissant with Juan and he got into it. I know we have to talk about the awful call. Like halfway don't even want to touch all that stuff because I kind of personally have moved on from that nonsense. But we have to talk about it. Who wants to talk about it? Because I don't want to talk about it. Who wants to talk about this call that this ref made that potentially could have that did it lost City the win potentially?
It lost a chance at the win, right? Let's be real.
Yes.
It lost a chance for
Grealish
Grealish
had
on
a lot to
goal,
do.
a chance for him to finish, beat two defenders and score against their keeper, but the chance was taken away. And that sucks. And I think it goes back to go ahead.
And well, Charlie, go ahead and continue. But all disclaimer, we all acknowledge that we had opportunities to finish this fucking game, and it shouldn't have come down to this. So please,
Yeah, and I mean,
continue.
like, let's think about it, right? Like, I'll talk about Diaz if he gets dunked on. Ake got dunked on. He didn't read the ball well enough, fast enough. He didn't jump. He didn't get off the ground. And you don't know it, but Kulusevski's a big dude. He's like a true 6-footer out there. And so once he had the running start and he made the header, it was like, damn, Ake, you got abused. It always feels racist when a white man dunks on a black man. I'm like, damn, we really lost that one, guys.
That motherfucker did the
It was like Brian on. He
he
stretched the
did the
Salister, dog.
Bronselli. That man did the Bronselli on our ass, dog. I'm a little butthurt,
As
bro.
he
I'm not
should. He
even gonna
deserved
front.
it. He
I'm not
deserved
even
it. I
gonna
felt it
front.
in my soul. Yeah.
He does. He
But
does.
to the
Yeah.
call, you can't give an advantage and then not let it go through unless there's a clear foul after the advantage is given. Once you gave the advantage, it's because Holland got stopped. He turns, he keeps the possession, and then plays the ball. Okay, well, game on. And if you wait, go ahead, there.
Do you think he obviously made his hands out, like keep playing, continue on, advantage played. So he was playing advantage. Holland plays the ball out. I think it's Holland plays the ball out to Grealish. Grealish is running in on goal. We know because of our vantage spot that he was onside when the ball comes to him. Do you think that the ref from his position thought it was going to be offside, and so let me immediately bring it back so that they don't lose the ability to have them? Because if he lets it go and it's offside, then it's going to be their ball coming back the other way. And it was so relatively bang that I don't want to take that away from them, so I'll bring it back here, not knowing that. Oh wait, no, they really were onside, and Grealish could have been in a position for a potential one-on-one with the keeper. Again, I think that I hate it, right? Because again, everybody hates it when it's against your team. I understand it, right? I don't like it. I don't like it, but I understand it, or at least I can rationalize why it would have played out the way that it did. But at the end of the day, to Lando's point, we should have had. I'll say should have had probably 3 in the first half. We could have had probably 5 in the first half. So, this sucks. Don't like it, but it's not the reason we lost. And again, we didn't even lose. We just drew. It feels like a loss because we expect to get those points, but that's not this one call is not the reason why we drew.
Crunk, can I bring out some data real quick?
Seeping out.
Please.
So listen to this, y'all. So after 14 matches last year, because I went and found this, Man City was top of the table, had a plus 30 goal differential. We had scored 44 goals in 14 matches and only had conceded 14. Ironically, this year, we've only conceded 2 more goals. It feels like a lot more because 7 of them happened in 2 matches. But like we actually were on pace to have a better defense until these weird things happened. And then goals scored instead of 44, we're at 36, which is still leading the Premier League. So we're still the best offense in the Premier League. We still have the 3rd best defense by numbers, by goals conceded. But we do have 5 less points. Again, only 5 less points. The sky is not falling. It's a little cloudy. It's a little overcast right now, right? Like it's not a full-on storm. We're not in a hurricane. It's not a cyclone. It's just like, damn, I want some sunshine today. And I think we're missing that sunshine because we're not getting the wins we normally do. But if you look at this long term, I feel it's like the way Pep played the knockout ties, right? It's like, hey, against the big clubs, we haven't dropped points yet. Well, we haven't dropped points against Chelsea and Spurs. We just got to win the reverse fixture, and boom, we got 4 out of 6 points. And so, of course, do you want to win these matches? Yes, I want to be undefeated, but that's not real life. And if we have a problem, I'd rather have problems in December So you have time to correct it, get healthy, do what you got to do. Pep can make a tweet like he did last year, right? We didn't know 3-4-2-1 was coming, or 3-2-4-1, but then it happened and it changed the game. So maybe there's something else there where he might make some type of innovation or just get the body he needs to make it work. So, it sucks, but we move.
No, Pep said, I'm not changing. That's exactly what he said at the end of this thing. He's like,
Yep.
I'm not changing. Nothing about what I'm doing is changing. It is what it is. We just need to figure out what is happening defensively because we're scoring. We're scoring in this sport. You just have to score more than the other team. You just got to figure out what's going on. We're just leaking some goals. Just a little leak. Get that patched up. Things are good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
We're good.
All right. Okay. Any more thoughts on this match?
I have my negative
Ooh.
statement I want to say.
Let's go.
Two things really. One is more of just a philosophy that I believe in from a longevity of an entire season. Just the duration of it all, going through it, the ups and downs. I would rather start off a season with defensive struggles as opposed to offensive struggles. To keep the level of defensive brilliance, I think it's one of the more difficult things to do. I think when people talk about best defensive teams, you look at the Maldinis and the Nestas. Shout out to Guerra Mundial. You look at that Milan team, and everyone raves about that defensive sounded unit. I think it's so hard to keep that level of defensive capability, and so I would rather have the ups and downs of defensively making some tweaks because I think to be great at defense, you need that chemistry and that long term, that unison, that trust that Josko and Ruben and Nathan and all of them have to get together again. So that's just kind of my first tidbit on the coaching philosophy, which leads perfectly into my negatives point. Um, every year. I do not care if the same squad comes in with the same coaching staff and nothing has changed from the previous year. Every single year, you cannot cheat the game. You must relearn how to win a game and you must relearn how to close it out. And that right now is what we are struggling with, closing out games. Charlie brought in some great realization. Only a two-goal differential from last year to now. Only a two-goal differential, but it feels so much larger. Why? I don't know. Because we had some obvious blunders and mistakes with Ruben Diaz at Chelsea. We have obvious blunders with Josko giving up a goal against Chelsea in that same game. We have blunders with Nathan Ake not timing a corner properly. We have these little individual situations where it makes it look larger, but we cannot escape the game. My negative point is that we must relearn how to win. These newer players that have not been there, the Dokus, they need to learn how to take the proper angle. The Joskos need to learn how to close out a game. And when that comes, we're going to be fine. But I agree with you guys. It's okay that it's December 4th and we haven't figured it the fuck out. Fucking season doesn't end December 31st. That's the beautiful part to it all. So, we move.
People learn in lots of different ways, but experience is the best teacher.
Keep it moving.
Oh. For the record, T. Scared the daylights out of me. For the record, T. 16 saves. 16 saves Tim Howard had in a 2-1 loss in the World Cup to Belgium. You're so right, bro. You were so right.
It's like we celebrate because, oh my God, he got so many saves, but we still lost the match.
So true.
All Premier League applause. I'm feeling real haterish because of our draw and where we sit. Third in the league. Arsenal's first, Liverpool second, City third, Aston Villa fourth, Tottenham fifth, Newcastle sixth, United seventh, Everton, Burnley, and Sheffield are kicking in at relegation station. I can't think of another club at this moment. Seeing our offense doing the thing week in and week out, our defense just continues to struggle. I'm really just shocked at our defense. I'm in awe that our attack keeps pushing. But I really want to applaud Foden, Alvarez, and Nunez, who are going to have a big week because Grealish, Rodri, is missing from Aston Villa, and Daku could be gone for a bit. How about you, my show bros? What is your choice for Shakal and Premier League applause?
I'm gonna give some love to Burnley, who opened it up against Sheffield United, 5-0. Company side finally found their shooting boots. I know there was a red card in there somewhere. So that's my applause. My shock is actually that Chelsea, after going down a man, figured out a way to win, beating Brighton. So that pesky mid-table team in Chelsea in London, they're doing so well. They're working so hard out there. We won't talk about the transfer fees. They're just a gritty bunch. So congrats on them on another win.
I've always said how much affection I have for my guy Vinny Company. So yes, I will be giving my applause to Burnley on getting their first win, or second win, excuse me, to get them off the bottom of the table. They are now tied on points with Everton. Of course, Everton has a much better goal differential, so they sit in 18th, Burnley at 19th. But my hope is that I don't know that, and I should probably go back and look at the records and see exactly how many points they've scored. I don't think Burnley have had an issue getting a goal or getting goals in their games. It's about their defense. They were able to hold on. I watched it. They were able to hold on, and again, it was pretty dominant because the other team was down a man. But they were able to turn it on. And my hope is that this is a turning point or launching pad for them, and they go on to at least get up out of the relegation zone and can kind of stay there throughout the rest of the season. But you can only play who's in front of you. They were matched up against Sheffield United and they beat them. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. So you got to give them credit for that. So kudos to Vinny Company and his team, the Vinny Company team, as Pep will call them.
15 goals for, 32 goals against. T, you're spot on. It's the defensive struggles with that club. Yeah, gotta give my cap off and my big applause to Vinny. Anytime they get a win, anytime they do well, God, I back that man. As much as he's provided for me, I will anywhere he goes, I will follow him and I wish him nothing but the best. He's got a fan in me. My surprise this weekend is Brighton, guys. I know T or Charlie, you gave the props to Chelsea to find a way. Brighton, what in the fuck? You must. You must finish that. I mean, I don't know, eighth, only a +4 goal differential. I'm a bit bothered by Brighton. We talk a lot about De Zerbi and how he's, you know, next up. I was trying to think of a fast pun with De Zerbi. Couldn't do it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Not liking this past weekend from the
Can you
guy.
laugh at Man United as well because they have a negative goal differential? Like they've scored 16, conceded 17. Thank you. That makes no sense. They're an unserious club. Very unserious club.
Yes, let's anytime.
How dare you ask a City fan to ever have a moment and
Right.
laugh
Yes,
at
please,
United?
let's take a moment.
I sure will take that
Let's go.
opportunity.
All right, let's get to these predictions before we get out of here. We'll start with our City men. A match against Aston Villa on the road against a side who is unbeaten in 5. They've won 4 of the last 5 games. Ollie Watkins with 8 goals and 6 assists. Douglas Luiz, who always plays well against City, he is having a great season. Leon Bailey, Musa Diaby are all players that can make City's defense miserable. After 3 consecutive draws, with Rodri, Grealish, Daku being unavailable due to injuries or card accumulation, Nunes, Kovacic, Stones, Phillips? What are we thinking? Let's start here, because this starting 11. I think it's going to get weird. Things are going to happen. What are you seeing for a starting 11?
I have no idea. I'm not even gonna try to do this anymore because I don't know. I would love to say Phillips, but clearly Pep does not play this man, does not trust this man, so I can't say him. I don't know if Nunes is gonna be back fit. I hope we get a strong back four. Give me Ake, give me Diaz, give me Akanji, give me Walker. I just want a flat back four. I'm done with the 3-2 at this point. We need solidity. So whatever happens there, do that. I'll take a classic 4-2-3-1. Give me 2 holding mids. Give me a 10, and let's see if we can score some goals and finish some chances. But I'm just gonna say, like, I think City loses now at Aston Villa. With the players are missing, I'm gonna say City lose 2-3.
Whoa.
He did it. He went and did it, didn't he? He did it.
Sorry, guys. Hope I'm wrong.
Clearly, you think it's going to be defensive struggle.
Yeah, I mean, Aston Villa can get off, and they get off at Villa Park. Like they're going to
Unai
be
Emery, like, dude,
he's cooking.
if there's a manager out there who can plan for a specific match, that is Unai Emery's thing. They're gonna be on all the bullshit. It's gonna be
The former Arsenal manager, Unai?
Hey, he did surprisingly fantastic with that Arsenal squad. Actually, I lied. Actually, he
I
did
fucking
not
love
do
Unai.
the best. But once he left
fucking love
Arsenal,
Unai.
he started thriving. Oddly enough, ironically enough, or not. Maybe it wasn't coincidence. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta respect everything. Yeah, Lando, what are you thinking? What are you seeing?
So,
Yeah,
I want to hear from T.
no, go ahead. You got it.
I want to hear from you because I'm not comfortable following up a 3-2 loss. I need more
No,
thoughts
I
on this
mean,
right now.
so I mean, I'll just flip those numbers around. I think we're gonna win 3-2. I think it's gonna be close, but I do think we win it. Only because it just, for me, it's hard to see us go too many games without a win. It's not realistic to me. It's if that happened in FIFA, I'd be like, FIFA's cheating. It's scripted. It's whatever, because there's no way that we go that many games without winning. And so it's happening in real life. So now
Terry
we're
said the
getting
game cheating.
Let me give you this. Let me
it's
give you this
scripted,
fact
man.
real quick. T. Check it. Man City have not failed to win 3 successful Premier League games despite leading in all 3 of them. The first time they have had such a spell since a run of 3 draws under Mark Hughes in November of 2009. That hurt me just getting out insane.
Yeah. And we get hate because we're U.S. based, but that does predate my Manchester City fandom. I'll just be honest, it does. It predates that. So, from a lineup perspective, I think you got to start up front. If we keep Holland and Alvarez, let's say, you're gonna have Foden on one wing. You don't have Doku, you don't have Grealish, so who's on the other wing? Do we get an Oscar Bob sighting? Or is he going to try something crazy? Or is he going to put, say, Alvarez out on the wing or something like that? So, whatever. From the midfield perspective, there's no Rodri. We don't know if Nunez is back, right, or not. Does he try to go with Kovacic and Nunez, or does he? Do we see if Stones is back healthy to play in there in the Rodri spot? which he hasn't trusted him to go yet. So we'll see. Again, not trying to rush that man back. Let him get healthy for the end of the season. So there's a lot of questions, and quite honestly, more questions than I'm accustomed to. But I think we have answers. I think you see Rico Lewis from the beginning. I think you potentially you might, and this will be interesting if we keep Foden on the right wing. Does anybody have the guts to play Gomez as the left winger, not as a left-sided defender, but as the left winger?
You're
The way
anticipating
the way Charlie looked at me.
No, it's like when Monique said, "I would like to see it." That's how I feel. Like I want to see it. I'm okay with new blood. I'm okay with giving guys a run because the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't kick off and then you can just make subs, right? Like I want to see Gomez. I want to see Phillips. I want to see something more than I've seen these last 3 matches. Because if it was working, we wouldn't be here. Clearly, something's off. So make a statement, Pep. Get some of those. Shake it up a little bit.
And sometimes you have to be forced. You have to be forced into a change. And so, with all these players out, maybe this forces Pep's hand a little bit, and maybe we see Sergio Gomez. I don't want to see him as a defender, but I would be okay with seeing him as a left-sided winger. So, roster or lineup decisions are always difficult, but I think we have enough to get the win.
Yes, and I do too. We can't do another loss. Can't do another draw that feels like a loss, I should say. I know we're going away, but I need to see something out of our defense. I know it's going to be a tough match. This is going to be a scoring. Oh my gosh. I want to say 4-3 City. I think there are going to be a lot of goals. I hate saying that we're giving up 3 goals. This hurts. This is crazy.
Lando, what's your prediction for the match?
I'm a little bit more comfortable now. I'm going a 3-3 draw. We're extending some records here. We're going to 4th consecutive draw. We're going to find a way, and this will be a draw that when we walk away from, we're going to say, okay, we'll be okay with taking this draw. We have to move and really figure this out. This is going to be a draw where instead of leaving it, man, we could have had 5, 6, 7, 8 goals. I think this will be a draw where we come back. Yeah. 3-3. That's what I'm going with.
Well, lucky for us, the next match is a trip to Kenilworth Road to take on Luton Town. Whoa, Luton. Whoa, baby Luton. Hi, friends. I don't hate you guys anymore. I hope the best for you little dorks. Good luck. We're about to beat that ass. I'm so excited. We needed this. This is a great game to maybe give Gomez a second start at left wing. Maybe this is Oscar Bob gets a start. Luton Town. They have gotten better every week, but it's just like they could be a bogey match, but this isn't Crystal Palace or Brentford. It's Luton. Like shade but no shade. Sharpie, what are your thoughts on this match?
Crunk, I am so happy you said Oscar Bob because I thought about this yesterday and I was like, that could be the one change because he's such a natural winger. If you put him out right, and now you can move Foden central naturally, you can move Bernardo in, right? Like I think the same way we used Rico last year to kind of understand what we needed in that hybrid midfield defending role, I think Bob could be the key. So I would love a Bob start as well. I think we go 6. Like this is a get back. This is a get right game. We go into that baby stadium and we win 6-0. Dude, I would say 7. I think this is where all the frustration comes out. It'll be our last match, I believe, before we go to the Club World Cup.
Let's go.
Oh no, before Champions League, last PL match. Oh no, we got two more. So yeah, I think we get right. 6-0. Let's call 6.
Just 2 field goals. You're not giving a touchdown now.
Missed extra point. Missed extra point.
Slapping,
Yeah.
slapping. Put whatever number you want to. It's slapping. And I would love an Oscar Bob start. I'm fiending for it. I think T was a little wild with Villa. He said, I don't know if we can see something a little crazy or maybe an Oscar Bob start. And in my mind, I'm just like, at Villa? An Oscar Bob start? If we
Well, I
start
don't
Bob
know
and Villa,
that.
we definitely get him in Luton.
I don't know that we start them, but I just know with both of our, well, Foden typically plays on the right. Everybody that typically plays on the left is out. So who's going to play there? Do you move Foden to left and play Bob right, or do you put Sergio Gomez in, or do you just do something completely crazy and we end up with Nunez playing as a winger or something? Who knows? But we'll see. For me, for the Luton match, I would love to think we're going to go in there and slap them, but I'm going to say 3-0, which is slapping enough, but 3-0.
Yeah. Nope. I'm a Sharpie. 6. I see 6. We're not letting Luton score. This isn't happening. It's not happening. I will.
That's
Yeah.
more important than no goals, right? Crunk.
Yes. That is the most important. We can't be letting Luton Town score on us. Like if there's going to be a change that needs to come for this squad, that is low hanging fruit. And again, I said I don't have beef with you, Luton Town, and I'm just insulting you left and right. I apologize, but come on now, come on. And lastly, our ladies, they're back at it. They play Aston Villa themselves on Saturday. I think the Reggae girls, they again knocked out of another competition, struggling again. I think Bunny's going to come back with a vengeance. I think our players are playing well. I don't know. I'm feeling really good, even though they were on a downward turn. But international break, I feel like it's going to bring them in a positive spot. 3-1. I still think they're going to score because they have great set piece killers. Our players that can score with the first touch of the match.
You said we on a downward turn? Didn't the women just score 7?
Yeah, but that's one match.
And they
I
scored
get
3
it.
before that against Man United. So that's 2 in a row in WSL. No, let's perk up, Crunk. Let's perk it up, Crunk. We're gonna win.
You're right. Okay.
We're gonna win 4-1. Go City.
Bunny with a brace. Heard it here first.
Brace, I like it. Okay, good. Okay. Pause. I'm good. I'm feeling good. We're feeling good.
I'll say 3-0.
Okay.
3-0 City.
There we go. Love it. Okay, I love it.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll just end it. But what I would like to do is take a moment to officially let listeners know about Live and Lit Chicago. April 20th in 2024. Tickets will be going on sale on the 9th, this upcoming Friday. Tickets will be going on sale December 8th, this Friday. We will be offering a 3-course breakfast that is an hour long. Because the game is supposed to start at 10:30. So I figure doors can open at about 7:45. From about 8:30 to 9:30, that's the breakfast. Might bump it up a little bit early so there's not so much time constraint. More information will be about these 3 courses. The chef that I work with, his name is Connor Larson, incredibly talented chef. I took a video with me to a bar pop-up. He made like elevated bar food, which kind of fits what we're going to be doing with the English breakfast themed. I'm going to give a little teases out in a promo video that you will see later this week. But I kind of really want to keep the menu close and secret, but also let you know the quality of what you're going to be tasting. Then after that, there's a watch along for Man City Tottenham. That's going to be a huge, incredibly important match, especially after this draw. I'm really excited that we're going to be able to have this chance to truly maybe break this Tottenham curse like I thought we were going to do last weekend together and live. FanFest Live is going to be our event sponsor, so we're going to live stream the event. They were going to do some giveaways, some fun things. Then throughout the day, if you're in Chicago, we would love to meet you. We would love to see you. City fan, non-city fan, all the people. I don't want to start naming people because I'll be here forever, but y'all know who we want to see. I love, like, Scarf Boy. He was like, hey, I want to be there in Chicago. I fucking love that. There are people that are popping up that we're finding out. There are going to be paid events, and then also we'll just be out being mixy. So feel free to reach out. And then, I'm not going to lie, though. The thing I'm most excited about, me and my fucking show bros in person for the first time. This is gonna be like super exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, you ain't done that yet? I mean,
wow.
Me and Charlie been meeting show bros all summer long. I mean, you know, gotta catch up.
Tarek, I don't appreciate this. You shot at me during the lit stream. Now this again, I'm watching you, Tarek. I'm watching you. Oh, man.
I don't know what you're talking
about. This Thursday, tap into our lit stream. Speaking of, starting at 7 p.m. Central Time, streaming live on FanFest Live. Shout out to the FFL Familia. Most dope guests, Gundalorian, Mitch, and Megan Swanick will kick it with us while turning up footy banner style. Kickoff show this Saturday for City Men versus Luton Town. Links to the lit stream and the kickoff show are in the episode description. Follow us on social media accounts, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Blue Sky. I'm back on Spill. We all over this place. Links to all those things are in the episode details. If you're watching on YouTube, please comment, thumbs up. If you're listening on a podcast, Apple, Spotify, Good Pods, all those things, rate, review. We appreciate it. Check out the Patreon, $6 a month, get you extra and early content. Sharpie, Terry, Landa, please let people know where to get a hold of you.
At Sharpie Charlie on Instagram and Twitter.
At Tarek Peterson on Twitter or Threads.
Shades of Blue. That's the only damn thing you need to be following. Liking, subscribing, get at us. Every damn social. It's not about my damn social. It's about Shades of Blue. It's about connecting with us in Chicago. 420, April. Come do content. Come see your boys. Come have a hug. Come have a beer. Come put one in the air. Come chill with us. That's the damn social I want you to get at. Shades of Blue.
You did it. Shades of Blue. Just type it in. Shades of Blue podcast. Shades of Blue US. It's one or the other, depending on which app, because there was a now defunct Shades of Blue that went and stole up all of the ads. Ass hats. You know the vibes. Shady gang. Shady gang. Shady gang.